Good afternoon from Lucca. Today we're going to take a walk all around the wall, Mura de Lucca. It's a beautiful sunny day today. Local time is 3:07 p.m. It is August 20th, 2022. And this is the wall, which spans around 4.5 kilometers, I'm told. And it's a popular walking space today. This is the fourth incarnation of a wall, a physical wall that surrounds the historical center of Lucca. This version of the wall was built between the 1600s and the 1700s. The final part of it was completed in the 1800s. But the first version of a wall in Lucca was built in the 2nd century BCE, before Common Era, or before Christ. And that was built by the Romans. It no longer exists today, but there are remnants of it that, like artifacts of the wall that you can find inside the city that are remaining in ruin. Second wall was built in the 1200s. I think it was completed in the mid-1200s, and it took well, what's interesting about that wall actually is it was both the first and the second wall was built for fortifying the city against any invasions, and really all walls were for that. But the third wall was built due to the expanding power of Florence, and the final fourth wall was built with using, at the time, the latest technologies of warfare. And this wall that I'm walking on now had about 2,000 laborers, 2,000 workers every day working on this wall. It took about 200 years to complete. And it's really windy right now, so I'm not sure if this video is picking up that wind or not. So I'm on the south side of the wall right now, south side of the city, and we're walking west. We are going clockwise. So yeah, this wall was built to be the be-all, end-all fortification of Lucca, to protect against the expanding imperialistic nature of Florence at the time. Florence had stretched all the way to westward to Alto Pascio, which is about 15 kilometers from where I am right now in the Lucca Historical Center. And so you can imagine how that worried this community of a potential invasion and occupation and, I guess you would say, annexation. But by the time Lucca completed this wall, any imperialistic desire of Florence was gone, because the kingdom of the kingdom of Italy had been established, and so Italy was, in the northern section at least, was all one. And part of the Italian kingdom was Lucca, Florence, and so forth. So the regional communities at that time, by the 1800s, had stopped battling against one another. So Lucca proceeded to finish the wall, and during that time they experienced some hiccups, if you will. The main river that passes around this wall and even through this wall had flooded a few times. In one particular moment in time, there was like a great flood where it really devastated the progress. And so what they did is they closed off all entryways and passages where you could go in and out of the wall. And for a time they had a worry on because this wall was so high tech at the time. They had a worry on whether a flood that would come through the wall would essentially pool inside of the city and stay here or not. And so with that in mind, they created sewage systems and channels and canal ways for water to go in and out of the wall. And if you go outside of the wall, like I've been before, you can see those channels where water, if there is a water overflow, it will go out, and there are steady streams to alleviate any water pressure that may be inside of the walls. So no flooding today. They fixed that at the time. And so with no motivation to complete this wall from a defensive standpoint, what was the reason to continue? Well, the city of Lucca decided to proceed with completing this wall, and rather than maintain it as a means for defense, they said, let's make it a green space. Let's make it a place to enjoy. And that is what they did. They had no intention to create these walkways on top of the wall. This was modern thinking after all worry of invasion had dissipated in the Kingdom of Italy. And the corner outposts, as you can see over here, these corner outposts that were initially built and imagined for, here you can see this is a river stream that passes right through the wall, and as you can see, I don't see a river or anything. They have underground streams that go right through the city underground, which is very interesting. So they imagined how to control the flow of water, natural streams, natural rivers that come and go, because there are dry spells and these rivers do disappear and reappear. We went through a 2-week period here of a lot of rain, and so this is full. I've never seen it full like this before. It's pretty cool to see, actually. Good for the environment. So with these streams, these streams are all across, all around the wall, which is very interesting. So the engineering that went into making sure inside the walls would never flood is still paying dividends today. So that's really cool. Whereas other places in Italy, you'll see in the news, small towns with walls around, they do flood, and cars start floating, people start getting washed away, and even homes get washed away, but never here in Lucca. Because they, from the beginning, when they were rebuilding this city back in the 1600s with this new wall, they made sure that natural disasters from rain, flooding, storms, because storms do come through here quite often, it would never be a problem. So we're seeing that still take effect in a successful way today, in 2022. So as I was saying, this outpost here, this corner post, I'm not quite sure how many there are around the wall, but there are quite a few. These were initially imagined to hold militant armed guards, where they could extend themselves out beyond the main frame perimeter of the wall and sort of guard the exterior, so they could still be within the parameter vicinity of this inner city, but see the exterior. Because you see right now, I can't see who may be bumping up against the wall here, any intruders or whatnot. So these outposts here give you a safe haven of seeing just who may be approaching the wall with negative intentions, and voila, see? I can now see the wall while still being on the wall and in the city, which is great. Great security. No security cameras back then. The only security were eyes and ears. You'll see the grass over here is destroyed. They're regrowing it. July 31st, about a month, less than a month ago, Justin Bieber was there with a concert. So this outpost, as it was imagined for security, it never was used for such. They are now green space parks. As you can see, people are enjoying themselves out in the sun. Really cool. If you're not already subscribed, we would appreciate the subscription. It helps us build the channel. Your likes help us build our presence in the algorithm of YouTube. And if you have any questions, ask away. I'll do my best to read any of your comments. It's really difficult for me to actually see the screen right now. The sun is so bright. We also have a website, TRAVOH.com, TRAVOH.com. And today we are going to walk around the whole wall here live on YouTube. My name is Marcus Anthony, and for me, I've been living here now in Lucca for over 1 year. 1 year for me. 1 year for me is a few days ago. I arrived in Italy last year on August 7th, and I've been here ever since. Originally from Canada, Vancouver. So we turned the corner there on the south end of the wall. We're on the west end now, and we're heading in the northern direction, or what would probably be northwest at this moment in time. We're still going to bend around. It's 30 degrees right now. So to my knowledge, and what I know of Italy, this is really the only wall I've seen that has a green space. Promenade on the top of the wall for people to walk and enjoy, as the Italians call passeggiata. It was a very forward-thinking idea at the time, in the 1800s or perhaps 1700s, when they kind of reworked their imagination on what the wall would be for, when it was no longer needed for defense measures. And as I was saying, the first wall that was ever built in Lucca was more inner, more inside. As they built new walls, the city grew outward more, and further out. But the first wall was built in the 2nd century before Common Era. That's BCE, or BC Christ. 2nd century BCE. It's amazing how old, historic the city is. Lucca, founded by the Romans. Whether it was the Roman Republic or the Roman Empire, I'm not exactly sure on that, but it was the Romans. And here's another outpost, security outpost that branches out from the main frame of the wall, now used as park space. Here they've closed it off either for storage reasons or safety concerns. We're going to continue our walk. Turning around another corner here, and I would say now we are in the northern direction. A little faster to pass these people, because they're not always in the shot. Okay. The tall trees here provide a lot of shade. Nice, very refreshing. The wall is obviously a main draw for tourists here. Tourists come to Lucca year-round. As you can imagine, summer is the heaviest period. experiences a huge influx of tourists from around the world. This time of the year is when you have families who visit as tourists. During the winter months, it's more older folks, retirees. Even young couples without kids. Here you can see, this is really cool. Right here, you can see part of an old wall structure. And this here, I can't see my screen very well. This here is an outpost, a security facility where guardsmen would be on the second floor patrolling, doing the lookout. But it was more enclosed, more contrived in terms of not being able to do a full pan around the wall as it was back then. And so how they reimagined this fourth iteration of the wall was more conducive to seeing the full perimeter of the wall, every vicinity of possible intrusion. But, as I said, by the 1800s, security was no longer an issue. You can see another security outpost there. Let's see if I can, I see some ruins, so we'll see if we can check that out. This wall, the imagination of it, the ambition, the engineering marvel that it was considered very modern and very necessary for the ever expanding ambition of the imperialistic Firenze, or Florence, as they say in English. Florence expanded all the way to Alto Pascio, which is 15 kilometers right here in Lucca. And so that made people here very nervous. Lucca did not have such imperialistic endeavors. They were not expanding, they were just maintaining their ground. It was a peaceful community, as it were, and it remained so through the centuries. Many popes have come and gone through, sponsoring the construction and facilitation of church and religion and all the things that come with that here in the city. We've built many churches. So here we have some ruins. This is a structural foundation of some sort. Looks like possibly maybe they were intending to build some kind of tower on top of this security outpost, or possibly some sort of facility to have community meetings. Who knows? I don't know. But definitely a local tour guide would know. Lucca has always been about communal collaboration, communal collaboration. Very cool. And we have a playground set over here. Let's continue our walk on the wall. People were living here in Lucca before they ever heard of a Jesus Christ. That's pretty amazing to think. I'm not up to date on religious history per se, but you have to imagine and wonder what kind of religion people here were practicing before that, before Christ came into the narrative. This is cool. And there's a lot of parts of this wall where there are actually tunnels inside this very, very thick wall. I haven't yet explored it all, but it's worth checking out. Not sure if you can see anything there. There you can see a tunnel that goes through. And they have lights in there too. So people do walk through there, and it's quite interesting. I'm almost certain I will lose connection if I walk through there, so not going to do that. But I have walked through parts of this wall inside, and I already have some video footage which I will put together and upload at some point. And look at this beautiful terrace, wall side. People live right here. Now it feels like we are walking eastward. So we are on the north end of the wall. If you're just tuning in, I will repeat some of the verbiage I have been already saying. So this is the Wall of Lucca here in Tuscany, Italy. In Italian they would call it Mura di Lucca. And this wall is the fourth version of a wall that has ever existed for this city that was established 2 centuries before Christ, before the Common Era. And the first iteration was constructed by the Romans. Second iteration, when Lucca, the city itself, expanded outward and grew, second version was completed in the 1200s. And these walls were constructed with defense in mind, to protect the city from invasions from other city-states, kingdoms as they were. So that would be to protect from Pisa, from other villages, from Florence. And the third wall was completed during the Middle Ages. And this is the fourth wall, completed in the 1800s. This fourth wall, let's take a look at this. That's cool. And to speak about this area in general, this region, the earliest settlers were the Etruscans. There's been a lot of studies and questions surrounding who the Etruscans really were. You know, in terms of DNA and genetic code, where did they originate from? Are they specifically from this region, indigenous to these lands? Like it has always been thought to be the case? Or did they migrate from another region? And they completed a study last year in 2021 that is really quite differential to any prior studies. You know, it's always been known knowledge that the Romans were of Germanic descent, Scandinavia, so forth, regions. And of course they would mix with other ethnic kingdoms such as the Ottomans and the Persians later on. But to speak about the originators, the original peoples of this land, in this region in particular, Tuscany, Lucca, this is a beautiful spot. This incredible villa mansion is owned by a brewer. They used to make beer here in Lucca. Today they do not, but it's quite a successful business, as you can see, with the owner having such a large estate. This was all his. Today it's a public park that you can visit. You have to pay something, I think it's €4, to visit the estate itself and the garden, the grounds. Many, many church towers. Throughout the year they have different art pieces that go on display at various locations around the city, inside and outside the wall. These people just honked at me, so they wouldn't hit me. Yeah, this is an art piece, and here's some information. And you can scan the QR code for more info. So this is where we are right now. And we started over here. And so yeah, this was the south end. We went around the west. We're now on the northern section. Go all the way around, back to where we started. Pretty cool, eh? So back to what I was talking about with the Etruscans. Latest sampling with the most durable technology, excuse me, with the most durable technology that can, for certain, almost find a clear consensus on linking genetics to original lands of people. The Etruscans were actually not indigenous people of these lands. They were migrants based on their genetic code, on skull samples, teeth samples, and other matter, skeletal extraction. And they've been able to match it up with indigenous peoples of Slavic regions. And the Slavics, they started in and around what is today known as Ukraine when they established Kievan Rus. And from there, which is today Kiev, capital of Ukraine, Kievan Rus expanded out, eventually established the Russian Empire. But the Slavic people, they didn't just stay in their own land, much like, you know, the Brits or the French. They went out to colonize. The British and the French, they colonized North America, although they were not the first, but they were the most successful. But anyways, the Etruscans, they derive from a genetic code that is rooted in the Ukrainian area today, which is very interesting. And if you look at statues of the Etruscan people and later the Roman people, they have a lot of the characteristics that you would associate today with Slavic people. And at the time, the language they were using, the Etruscans were not actually using a language that we can particularly understand at all today. It wasn't even Latin. It predates Latin. It was it's a very archaic form of language, but it does have similarities or characteristics that you could share in terms of perhaps linking to an evolution of communication of sorts to Greek, the Greek language, or perhaps what you would call the Cyrillic alphabet of the Russian language today. Strada Cusa, this area is closed. Not sure why, but we will go down here.
Yeah.
Says the Etruscan society evolved and was later conquered by Romans. The Etruscans eventually died off. Many of them mixed, integrated into new society, and their ethnicity, as it were, was eventually diluted and dissipated and, I guess you could say, erased. Well, we all carry genetic links, and in 2021 they were able to Wall. I guess it would be cheetah. Still have to work on my Italian. So if you look at the birthplace of a lot of the original Romans, because we don't have documentation on the Etruscans, we're just going based off science. And that's an ever-evolving study. If you look at the original birthplaces of many of the early Romans, because the paperwork still exists, the documentation at least, however they were documented on stone or whatever, a lot of them were born in places where today you would associate with Moldova, Romania, Kiev, Ukraine, middle Ukraine, all the way up to even Sweden, which is quite remarkable. And so that was the birthplace of Slavic society. And the Russian people today, European Russians, they didn't even start in what you would associate with Moscow or St. Petersburg. They came from the middle plains of Ukraine and Moldova, around the Black Sea, Crimea. A lot of the original ethnic links actually come from the Crimean Peninsula. And so it's just very interesting to see how the ethnic fabric of ancient Italy started from those Slavic regions and Germanic regions, Austria, Germany of today, even Hungary. I've been looking at the records, Roman rulers and politicians, senators coming from those places. And then later, of course, the later people of Rome are born in Rome. It's just like myself. I'm half Italian, half Polish, in the simplistic nationalistic form. That's all I really know about myself. But if I were to go back generations, let's go back 2 centuries, it's interesting to actually figure out where your ancestors come from. I was born in Canada, but I have no link to those lands. And now I'm in Europe, where I do have links to this land. But where is the foundation, if you will? Where did my line start? It might not have even been here in Italy. Don't really know. Well, it's just interesting to think about. I've been doing a deep dive on reading a lot about the early days of Italy. And You know, if you look at the south of Italy, a lot of that land and, you know, the boot of Italy was conquered time after time by the Greeks, the Persians, the Syrians, the Ottoman Empire. And you can see how that formed the ethnic code, if you will, of those people. You know, conquests are consequential. You know, villages and peoples of a certain minority do get wiped out or do get blended into a new society, and the people change. And from a historical perspective, it's interesting because me as I am now, I'm a survivor of all those conquests. It's fascinating. Just being alive means that your being, your bloodline, the very essence of who you are is a survivor of centuries and centuries of really, you can say, ugly history, but, you know, barbaric and archaic and whatever adjectives you want to throw at it. But I look at it as fascinating, and we have to understand history to know how we should be today. I mean, it's not rocket science to delineate the good versus bad of those times, the pureness, the positive aspects of those societies against the evil, the discrimination and the outright racism. And minority persecution of the people at those times. That's not disputable. We can understand that. And in understanding that, we have to apply that to today's times and fully understand that war in 2022 simply has no place. We should have already evolved from the idea of invasion, conquest, and territorial occupation, and the controlling of, let's say, cultural appropriation, ethnic cleansing, enforcement of language. I really think people should just have the freedom to be who they want and what they want, and just try to live up to the potential that they've set for themselves, realized or unrealized. And so that's how I look at history. It's all a lesson. It's all a fascinating journey to connect the dots back in time to where we are today and where we can go tomorrow, and years, decades, centuries, even millenniums from now. You know, all of the collective actions of the past that brought us to where we are today and created the cultures we have today. It's really remarkable. Hello, I think I saw a comment from someone in Switzerland. Nice views, and the weather is too perfect for the walking time. Yeah, the weather is fabulous, fantastic. I'm walking on the Wall of Lucca right now, Mura de Lucca, in Tuscany, Italia, Toscana, Italia. Travel from Germany. Hello. Thank you for watching. Dankeschön. Appreciate all your support. If you haven't already, give us a subscribe and check that bell to be notified when we have new videos, new lives, new uploads. It helps us climb the rankings on YouTube. I was there a few years ago in Canada, and I love it. It says travel with, oh, I didn't catch your name. Do another comment down there. Mention your name. It's difficult for me to see my screen right now. Out of the bright daylight. So here we have another old outpost, security outpost, part of an old wall structure. Right now I'm walking on the fourth iteration of a wall built around the city of Lucca as it expanded through the centuries. This wall was completed in the 1800s, 1800s. Of course, Lucca started in era, founded by the Romans. Travel the world with Thorkin. Yes, it is amazing. Where are you traveling right now, Thorkin? Thank you. You already subscribed and clicked our bell. Thank you so much. Grazie mille. Merci beaucoup. Dziękuję. Polish. Spasiba. Dziękuję. Thank you in many languages. Always got to show the appreciation. We really appreciate it. Grateful for all your support. The cafe. Normally at home now because last few weeks I'm away to... Okay. Where do you plan to travel next? Look at this. This is beautiful with the trees, the greenery. Releasing my premiere every Friday from Germany time, starting from Canada. We're in Canada, from Canada. I was born in Vancouver. You missed this place and want to visit again. Yes, Lucca does steal the hearts of many. If you take the train to the west coast in the Greggio area, it's just 15 minutes. So you're 15 minutes from the sea here in Lucca. This Friday I released my Vancouver tour. Excellent. I'm going to have to check that out. That's my city. Vancouver is a spectacular city. Many people argue that it is one of the best livable cities in North America. I can attest. to it being so. I lived there for 32 years. Vancouver has the sea to sky, as we call it. You can enjoy the beach in Stanley Park, Spanish Banks, and really all around Vancouver City. And then you can hit the gondola and go up Grouse Mountain and go skiing in the evening if you want. Beach and skiing all in one day. Pretty cool. Thumbs up. The entranceways where you can drive in and out. Let's go check it out over here. Thank you. Enjoy your day too. I'm gonna check out your channel to see your video in Vancouver. All these trees, my allergies getting activated. Drive through. And the enter. You do need a special permit to drive inside the walls though. That's to protect the inner historical city from too much traffic. Yeah, it is. Cool view indeed. Security outpost where the eyes and ears of patrolling security guards could take their positions and view the perimeter of the wall, the exterior of the wall, in case there were any possible intruders. That was the intention, but it was never used for such. By the time they finished this wall, all security matters were no longer an issue. Imperialistic ambitions of Florence were subdued via the formation of the Kingdom of Italia. Construction on this wall started as a security matter. It was later finished as a recreational facility, if you want to call it that. Recreational park, green space. They decided to create this walking promenade all around the wall for the Lucasian people to enjoy their passeggiata every afternoon. They like to take time off work and go for passeggiata, go for a walk, and let's cross without getting hit here. A lot of bicyclists. And also in the evening, after they have their dinner, they go for their passeggiata as well. And so this wall really facilitates an encouragement to take a stroll. And these security outposts were turned into green space parks. So the infrastructure here really encourages a healthy lifestyle. It's amazing, really. I really enjoy this feature of this city.
Da 14 della USIP, poi c'ho un Bionic da 19 della Plus.
Beautiful, majestic garden grounds. We're soon approaching a complete walk around, complete 360 of the wall. And according to my Apple Watch, I have walked 4.51 kilometers thus far. All right, so we are nearing the completion of this walk. If you haven't already, give us a subscribe, like, share. We appreciate all your support. And we hope to be back with more live videos. Look at the way the lighting is on these trees. Beautiful. And if you want to help us out with seeing more places, we would suggest let us know in the comments. Here in Italy, I'm located in Lucca right now. Perhaps you want to see Florence, Alto Pascio, Viareggio, Pietrasanta, Porto de Marmi, or maybe you want to see somewhere else in Italy. Rome. Milano. Milan will be having the Olympics in 2026. And 2 years prior, it's going to be also in Europe, in Paris. Oh, my mistake. Looks like we just got a final stretch here. And then we are complete with our 360. If you have been to Lucca before, also let us know. Also, if you live here, let us know as well. We're open to doing a meetup and collaboration. My name is Marcus with TRAVOH. TRAVOH.com we have our website. We publish articles, photos, videos. We recently launched a new website, which is doing really great from an SEO standpoint. Getting good traffic, good response. If you want to see more videos like this one live on YouTube, give us subscribe, like, check that bell to be notified next time we have a video. Helps us with the algorithm, helps us with growing the channel. We endeavor to show you more places like this and beyond here in Europe. And your support goes a long way in not just encouraging us, but helping us with the monetization, pay the bills for our travels. Any and all super thanks are also greatly appreciated. Whoever does give us a super thanks, we will mention in our community section on the channel. Give you a special thanks. And I'm thinking also of creating a section on our website, travoh.com/supporters, for any and all people who do support us in terms of a YouTube super thanks or give me a coffee .com/TRAVOH. Sorry, buy me a coffee.com/TRAVOH. One thing you got to do when you're out here in the sun is have a bottle of water, because you do get dehydrated, and after a while it squeezes your thought process. I'm wickedly thirsty right now. Here's a restaurant here on the wall. It's got great reviews on Google. Last I checked was 4.9 stars. Grass is really well kept. At night it lights up with all these colorful arrays of lighting. It's really nice. Good vibe at night. So this is where we started. For this video, we got up on the wall here. And it's up these stairs here. Right here, got up on the wall. That's a beautiful villa right there. I can only imagine what that costs. This street was, from what I read, these residential apartments were built in the 1950s, so it's the newest section of Lucca. And there we have it. Magnificent. All right, till next time, this is Marcus Anthony signing off from TRAVOH.com on YouTube.com/TRAVOH, our channel. Appreciate you all for watching and joining me on this walk around the Wall of Lucca, Mura de Lucca. My official distance walked was 5.09 kilometers, according to my Apple Watch. And the temperature right now is 29 degrees. We started at 30 degrees, it went up to 31, and now it's gone down to 29. The time right now is 16:20, 4:20 p.m. I think we started at, I think I announced the time initially at 3:07 p.m. That'll be 15:07. So, just over an hour we walked around. Of course, it was a very leisurely walk with many stops in between to check things out and discuss. So, yeah, great day around the wall. And I'm gonna actually walk around the wall one more time, recording the video to put it up on the channel in full quality with 4K 60 frames per second from my iPhone. Not sure if I'll do that now actually, or maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But at some point. So again, once again, appreciate all your support. Give us a like, subscribe, share. Tremendously appreciate that. We're trying to grow this channel to become something that is beneficial for people all over the world to discover many points of interest. Not necessarily always the mainstream areas, but some of the hidden areas that are just as special and if not more special. So I just love that tree there. It's really cool. Beautiful. But till next time, ciao for now. Arrivederci.